I still remember that night at the park like it was yesterday. It was summer, and me and my crew had been planning this trip to the amusement park for weeks. The air was thick with excitement as we strolled through the gates, the neon lights painting the sky as the screams from roller coasters echoed around us. We made a beeline for the newest ride, one that had been the talk of the town. The line was long, but we were patient. That's when things took a dark turn. A bunch of strangers laughing and acting all high and mighty cut right in front of us. I ain't one to let things slide, so I spoke up. "Hey, y'all can't just barge in like that. We've been waiting here." The leader of that group, a tall, lanky guy with a sneer plastered on his face, looked us up and down. "What's the big deal? We just want to ride. Ain't hurting nobody." But that didn't sit right with me. "Nah, man, that ain't how it works. You gotta wait like everyone else." Next thing I know, words turned to shoves and shoves turned to punches. It was chaos, yelling, fists flying, and people around us either watching or trying to break it up. I remember the fear pulsing through me, but also the anger. How dare they think they could just waltz in and act like they owned the place? Security finally arrived, but by then, it was too late. They saw us throwing hands, and without a second thought, they cuffed us. I tried to explain, tried to tell them how those other folks were the ones who started it, but they wouldn't listen. They said we were disturbing the peace, causing a ruckus. Didn't matter what we said, the cuffs were on, and they were leading us away. The worst part was the looks from the other park goers. Some shook their heads, others whispered, and a few even pointed fingers. We weren't the troublemakers, but suddenly, we were the ones getting carted off. As they marched us out of the park, I caught sight of those strangers smirking. They got what they wanted. A free pass while we ended up in the back of a squad car. It didn't make sense. We were just defending our spot in line, standing up for what was right, and now, we were the ones facing consequences. Sitting in the back of that car, I felt a mix of anger, frustration, and a heavy weight of injustice. We didn't deserve this, but there we were, paying the price for a scuffle we didn't start. That night, the thrill of the amusement park turned into a nightmare. It was a lesson learned the hard way. Sometimes, doing the right thing don't mean a thing when the odds ain't in your favor. Yo, you wouldn't believe the crazy mess I got into last night at that amusement park. Man, I was just trying to have a good time, you know? Me and my boys decided to hit up the Thrill Zone, that new spot that everyone's been talking about. The vibe was hype, the music was pumping, and the lights were flashing like crazy. Little did I know, that night was about to take a turn for the worse. So we hop on this roller coaster, right? The Screamin' Banshee, they called it. Sounded all cool and everything. I'm strapped in, heart racing, feeling the adrenaline pumping through my veins. As the coaster starts climbing up, I'm thinking, this is about to be the ride of my life. But oh boy, was I wrong. As we reach the top and start hurtling down, I hear this dude behind me, straight up hurling. I'm talking projectile vomit, like something out of a horror flick. And guess who catches the brunt of it? Yours truly. My fresh kicks, my clean threads, all drenched in whatever this dude had for dinner. It was like a sick joke, man. I turn around, eyes wide, and there he is, this random guy with bits of who knows what on his chin. He's grinning like he just won the lottery or something. I'm trying to keep my cool, but I can feel the anger building up inside me. I'm like, bro, you serious right now? You couldn't hold it together for a 2-minute ride? Dude had the nerve to laugh, like it was some big joke. Now, you know me. I don't take disrespect lightly. I'm looking at him dead in the eyes, and I can see he's sizing me up too. It's about to go down once this ride comes to a stop. Finally, the Banshee screeches to a halt, and we're all spilling out. I'm marching towards this guy, ready to lay down some words or maybe more. My boys are trying to hold me back, telling me it ain't worth it. But I ain't having it. I'm heated, man. I get up in his face like, you think this is funny, huh? You think it's cool to ruin someone's night? He's playing it off like he ain't do nothing wrong. That just fueled the fire burning inside me. I can feel my fists clenching, and I ain't backing down. Out of nowhere, this park security guard steps in, like some superhero trying to save the day. He's this big dude, uniform all tight and proper. He starts laying down the law, telling us to chill or we're getting kicked out. I'm fuming, but I ain't trying to mess with park security. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, I take a step back, still shooting daggers at the guy who turned my night upside down. Security gives us both a stern warning and sends us on our way. Man, I had to spend the rest of the night walking around in my puke-soaked gear, smelling like a garbage disposal. Thrill zone turned into spill zone real quick. Lesson learned, though. Next time, I'm wearing a poncho on them roller coasters, no doubt.